I'd like to call this meeting to order, the Almont Planning Commission, 7 p.m. All rise for the Pledge of Allegiance and stay standing for the invocation. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Dear God, please bless our planning commissioners, grant them the courage and wisdom to do what is right for all citizens. Amen. Thank you all for coming. We have roll call, please, Michelle.
Kevin.
Here.
Nick.
Here.
Bonnie. Here. Tracy. Here. Dennis.
Here.
Ida.
Here.
And absent, we have Andrea. We don't have a representative from Rowe, and we don't have a representative from Davis Lancer.
Correct. I do not have any additional correspondence or anything late correspondence to add. Ida?
There is one thing, but I'll just put it in my report.
Thank you. Correspondence. Any public comments regarding anything not on the agenda? Hearing none. Late agenda items. Anything additional there? Okay. Let's call it Mr. for introductions. Call it Mr. Thomas Schoen. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Or I don't have his name. Thumb gun. I apologize.
Tansel Afchi. I'm Tansel from Thumb Gun.
Hi, Tansel. Welcome.
Well, thank you. Glad to be here. I'm here to explain anything I can about the special land use we have for our property.
I believe you're really not changing anything. You're
Correct.
going to continue on in the same vein in any continued business.
Correct.
Well, we welcome you to the community. Thanks for making your presence known. And anybody have any questions? Any additional thoughts?
The previous owner of the Thumb Gun did not sell trailers. Is that something that
We're trying it, yes.
you're trying it? Okay.
Yeah, we bought some last year, and it took us a while to assemble them and get them over there. And spring is a better time to sell them than winter.
So you're selling them?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, we are.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Questions, comments, concerns?
Welcome to the community.
Welcome.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you for coming. Now, Mr. Schoen, I'm sorry. Oh, Jesus, I'm sorry. I apologize. I went right over top of minutes. Let's back up. Got way ahead of myself. Minutes from June 9th, 11th. Any comments, discussion? Any changes, additions? There was a page missing, but I believe everybody had a chance to review that. Copy error.
Move to accept as presented. Support.
Motion has been moved to accept as presented and supported by either Mrs. Polinsky or Mr. Giacalone. I didn't hear who got first, so you guys can figure out the parking lot later. Simple roll call vote, please.
Kevin.
Yes.
Nick.
Yes.
Bonnie.
Yes.
Tracy.
Yes.
Dennis.
Yes. Motion carries. Thank you. I apologize for that. Now, Mr. Shaw.
He just had a baby, and I believe his wife is still in the hospital.
I sent everyone.
You did.
Yeah.
You're right. You're right. I apologize. You did mention that, and it slipped my mind. So he'll be back. Well, that will go before the board meeting
Next
on
week.
Monday, right?
Yep. Next week.
And then,
And most likely Gary will nominate.
yeah, he'll be nominated at that time and,
Right.
so. Well, it's a shame we didn't get to meet him, but
Pardon me?
it's a shame we didn't get to meet him, but
Right.
I guess congratulations are in order. Probably takes precedence. No public hearings. New business, 4310 Van Dyke, STE, proposed site plan revisions. 2 new buildings. We do not have any review from the planner or our professional planner yet. Engineer or professional planner. My head is not in it today for some reason. I apologize. They do have the plans. They do have all of the information, the checklist, all that's been presented to them. They just did not have enough time to do their due diligence before this meeting. So although we have no actionable items, we would like to have the owners of the business come up, introduce themselves, give us a general overview of the project. There is a special land use on the property. I did not have time to look into what it entailed originally, and I'm not certain how the new project or new updates will affect the special land use. That's something that has to be taken into consideration. The floor is yours, gentlemen. Please introduce yourself.
Doug Charbonneau, my partner Tony Androsic. We built this place, I guess it's been about 10 years since we were in front of the board before. We had a special land use, I believe is for the display and the use of the buildings, the display area in the front and stuff.
Use like a used car or.
Yes, we got a used,
Sales.
yep, we have a dealership, yep,
Description, yeah.
and the truck equipment upfitting. So we've been growing the business, trying to grow with Almont, and it's time to expand. We're busting at the seams. Not really changing a whole lot. We want to move the fence back, move the trees behind the fence back 300 feet, and put up a couple new buildings. One will be, the one out back will be just a cold storage, no electric, no plumbing, nothing like that. Like a farm storage building.
That's what I think, just a lean-to, basically, 3 sides.
Yeah, a hoop probably with open end on it.
Okay.
That's what we're looking at.
But is that proposed or is that in this?
This is proposed.
Okay. Well, I mean, you have. Go to bed, Google. I thought you had on the notes here, proposed building and then, okay, I thought it said future. The one in the back, is that the one that's gonna be?
There's 2 proposed buildings, so the longest one in the front, this is proposed building, that would be building number 6. And then the one out back, closest to the tree line, will be proposed building number 7.
But it says
That's
future, is that, on this plan, it says future.
Correct. I don't know why he put it on there as future, but
It will be
That's-
concurrent with this,
this build,
yeah,
yes,
okay, so it's not future, it's
yes.
concurrent, okay.
What we did last time is, we did, like the paint shop and stuff, building number 5 was a future to redo the building, because all these buildings were empty hangars when we started.
Right, sure.
It was the old airport. So as we could afford it, we fixed them up, and made them usable. So basically, all we want to do is transplant the trees 300 feet back. We're going to have to do some dirt work to add the gravel. It'll be gravel lot, just like the rest of it behind the buildings. Put up the 2 new buildings. The fence will be the same height. The new fence that we're in to the back actually has a nicer screening. It's 8 feet tall, just like we put in last time, but it has the pine tree screening in it. So it'll be a little better than that gray slats that we have. So neighbors should like that. No new lighting. We're not moving the dumpster. So just got to change the grade a little bit and then add the, add onto the south drainage pond. I mean, quite a bit of dirt work to get it done, but
Excellent, looks very well thought out, very thorough. Hearing back from the engineer and the planner, I think they're gonna be very happy with what you have here. I don't see anything that's glaring at the moment.
they should be. Rick Duttler's pretty top notch when it comes to doing all the drainage calculations and all that stuff. Silt fence and all that.
This is merely for conversation, it was brought up by the engineer in a conversation he and I were having about a public hearing. But the way I read the ordinance, it may or may not be necessary. So that's something we'll have to look at once they come back with it.
The engineer decides that?
No. It has to do with the special land use.
Gotcha.
But I don't see a change to your special land use that would require it, but I'm not saying that it isn't required, but it's a possibility that it might be.
I would think not.
We could do it
They're
at
doing the same thing.
We could do it at the same time as the next meeting if everything goes well. Maybe do it at the same meeting. I'm not saying we can. It might be doable.
If you guys have been by there, you've noticed that the front yard has been getting plugged up with stuff too in the last year or so, and this will help alleviate a lot of that and get it back down to looking better.
Questions or additional comments at this time, barring any information forthcoming from our
So
professionals?
are you the proposed storm basin extension will combine the existing pond, so it'd be the one
Yes.
long?
Yes, it's gonna make the pond longer.
And then, to the south, the property, we've got professional office. Oh, it's all zone 01 to the south of you. Is it south? Let me think.
There's like 100
Be south.
feet that they did that as a buffer zone
Great, okay,
originally when we did this the first time.
right.
Basically makes it unusable. 16 acres, and we're having a hard time getting what we need, you know?
Oh, okay, now I know what you're talking, exactly, I know exactly what you're talking about, yep. And then the gravel that you have would be to the west of the proposed building would be the same as,
The other gravel, yep.
yeah.
Yep. Got to change the pitch of it a little bit for the drainage.
Yeah.
We went in front of the ZBA for gravel in the backyard
Oh, you did?
originally, yes. Because your code wrote it had to be hard surfaced or something, and nobody has hard surface in the backyard of their commercial or industrial in Almont Township hardly.
Complaints, do you?
No.
I mean, that's what we'd be concerned with, maybe to the north, but that's, I think that's
Gravel to
commercial
the north,
anyway,
too.
general commercial.
What's that?
Go into the north is gravel too.
Yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's all gravel back there, yep.
Right, yeah.
Yep. We've chlorided it once or twice. It's helped it.
Good. We've got some other sites that don't do so well. That's all I'm saying.
Right. Nice thing is there's no houses to blow dust on or anything
Right,
like that.
just to
too,
the
so.
west.
All right, we're gonna get started tomorrow.
So
Any
then-
more questions?
Excavators are coming in tomorrow?
Yep,
Excavators are coming in?
they're there.
Doug, may I have the correct spelling of your last name?
CHARBENEAU.
Thank you.
So will this be on the August agenda with reviews from our professionals?
Yes, this will be on the August. What date is that?
We hope to be on the August.
Yeah, what date is the August? Is it,
11th.
13th?
Doesn't say 13.
Oh, there's the calendar right there, yeah, 13th. We look forward to seeing you back on the 13th, and
All
we
right.
should have a very large list of either approved items or a lot of questions, one or the other.
Yeah, hopefully, we can get them addressed and we don't have to postpone. Really like to get moving on it
Understand,
for the weather.
getting late in the year already.
Yeah, snuck up on us. All right, thanks for your time.
The business is
coming in.
doing well.
Revised, corrected Almont Township Planning Commission bylaws. Has everybody received the copy?
We got one tonight, but we didn't get one in our packet.
I had one.
No, that's a.
It's from the last
This is
meeting.
left over from last month.
Right,
So it was in the packet from Jim.
Oh,
so it's possible that some haven't had a chance to review.
we just had one itsy bitsy change, right?
Two changes.
Okay, you want to point them out for us?
One, at the beginning of the paragraph was a lowercase letter, I changed to a capital letter.
Okay.
And then a special meeting has to have all members present, one word added in a special meeting.
meetings.
Just a grammatical fix.
I
Grammatical fix.
Yeah.
have,
Simple.
I have another I found. this
Oh,
evening.
Kevin. Well, tell that to the secretary. What do you got, Kevin?
Section 1, I'm sorry, Article 7, Section 1, Chairman. Chairman shall appoint all committees of advisory committees. It should be all members of advisory committees.
So it's missing the word members?
It says committees of advisory committees when it should, in my opinion, should say all members of advisory committees. Do you have a copy of it handy, Dennis, or I'll?
It was in front of us tonight, I think.
I didn't bring it.
No, it was
It should be
here.
on your desk.
It's on your desk. It should be.
No, he picked up his packet.
I picked that up a long time ago.
I'll show you what we're talking about.
I'm trying to find the special meetings one that we
Of
can, right?
advisory committees. In my opinion, it should say all members of
Here we
advisory
go.
committees.
Oh, okay. Change committees to members.
I did find another one if we're going to continue to make changes, though. Where was it?
I can get it, if everybody agrees. Okay.
Ah,
Did you find another?
yeah, 9E, page 9, letter E, voting. Quorum shall consist of 4 members, and the affirmative vote of the majority of the members present on all matters shall be. Shall be what? Shall, well, it's just a weird way to word that sentence. What's the shall be?
I think it should end after president,
It's 4 members.
or on all matters, either. end
Quorum shall
after-
consist of 4 members, and the affirmative vote of the majority of the members present on all matters shall be.
I think Shelby just shouldn't.
It's gonna be shall be, approval, or shall be, because they say it some other place, they say, shall be the, shall be required for approval. I'm not sure. It's supposed to be more there.
shall be adequate, or something like shall be adequate,
Shall be required.
shall be required, adequate, something like that.
Required.
Shall be required.
There you go.
And it would require.
Yeah. Gotta be, shall be something.
Or for required for approval.
Yeah. Yeah.
That makes sense?
Yep,
Okay.
for approval. So now it's a living document. We just keep looking at it every month.
Well, good work. I mean, good eye. These things are, you know, make mistakes, get bleary-eyed typing them up, and miss little things like that. It happens. Okay. I don't see any need for any type of vote on that. I think that's just a procedural item.
Yeah, you see it next month and then
Yeah.
get final.
Yep. Okay. Number 3, Mr. Austin Hall on the Sherlock storage. Does not look like he's able to make it. He cannot attend. If anybody's had a chance to review that, the item in question is he's asking to add several U-Haul trailers to his business to have people moving in storage, moving out of storage, et cetera. He has, what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It looks like 10 parking spaces now. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. There's a full-size plan right here. Not
Oh.
full-size, but a large scale.
Okay.
Not full-size, large, obviously not full-size. Large scale plan right here. So let me count that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I think that's a handicap there at 14.
What is his business in these buildings? In
Sto-
in
the
the buildings that I'm looking at
No, it's a
here?
car detailer. He's a car detailer.
No, Sherlock storage. That's what he does.
But Patriot Car Dealers is different than storage facility.
Oh, those are two different, I thought it was all,
No, Patriots moved out, it's all owned by Sherlock.
oh, he's moved out now.
Yeah, he went across the street.
No, but it's Patriot Detailing in there now.
There's a sign.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry. It's just, I thought you were talking about the mechanic part of it.
No,
Well, is that the approved site plan that the township has for record?
Yes.
yes, this is the file copy.
Well, is Patriot leasing from this guy? This is confusing. I assume Patriot is a different business from the storage facility because they got the other shop on the east side.
That's Patriot Collision.
That's it.
Are they owned by the same company?
Yes, same family. And
Same family.
and they also have Patriot, the mechanical
Right.
shop as well. So they have 3 distinct locations or distinct facilities. I don't know that this at Austin Hall is affiliated with Patriot at all.
Yeah, I didn't gather they were, but I could be wrong.
But the point being, on the site plan for the site as a whole, according to this site plan, they have, what did I say, 12 or 14? What did I say?
I think you ended up with 14 because 10 was what we could see here and you kept going.
Yeah, if you look here, there's more. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to the north of the building.
Yes.
tell. Maybe those aren't parking spaces there then. Maybe that's the building.
I think there's only 6.
There's the other building here and
There's-
there's
it
one,
looks like
2,
there's
3,
some
4,
here,
5,
isn't there?
6 in front of that other building.
Isn't that where the gate is?
Yes.
I don't
But
think
the-
those are parking spots.
But the gate is to the east of those parking spots.
Looks like the road on here.
Oh, yeah, you're right. It's the entryway into the,
Before we get too far on the weeds and go through all this, they would need a
There's-
variance anyways. To have
Correct.
gravel. I mean, their first step would be even seeing if,
What I'm trying to understand is how many parking spaces do they have now?
right,
And does he even need to, if he uses those up for trailers, does he need more?
right.
But
but if he's not owning the business that's in those buildings, then how many parking spaces does the business that's in those buildings need?
exactly, that's what I'm trying to ascertain here. And without any representation, it's kind of a moot point.
Table it until they can be here.
But I guess I'm still not sure. Is he leasing the one building to Patriot? Does he own the whole thing? I guess that's what I'm.
He owns the whole.
He owns the whole property.
Okay, so he's leasing to
Leases to
Patriot.
Patriot.
We assume, this is crazy.
But given the businesses that are there, does he even have enough to start? I mean, he can only have what he can have because of the size of the lot and shape and so forth.
Well, he's proposing to gravel north of the edge of the asphalt parking lot, if I understand it correctly.
Trucks there.
And that's where U-Haul stuff would be stored.
But I don't know that he could get a variance to encroach upon the setbacks, encroach upon the right of way. I don't see that he has a path forward.
I don't know, because I'm not clear what he's trying to do.
Without him being here, we're at a loss.
Roger. But how should, I don't know, okay. What,
We have to table it until he can tell us what he wants.
okay.
Postpone until next month. Here's what I was talking about, Dave. There's parking spaces in front of this here.
Well, then
That
it
don't-
belongs to us. Those are
Correct.
yours.
Right.
I was looking here, but those are not head-in spots because there's a fence there.
I was assuming that they were headed spots where the fence is here.
Oh, there's maybe room for 2.
I mean, they show more here.
Right. Part of me personally thinks though, if you can't come when you want to be on and get the information and explain a little bit, I don't think we should spend a lot of time on it.
No, I mean, there's no point in.
Table it, and if he
Table
wants
it.
to come to the next meeting, then
Yeah.
we can talk about it then. If not, then he's not doing anything.
Yeah, I was just, what I wanted to do was prevent him from spending $4,000 to put up money, then we just say no because it's not doing it.
Right. Come have the conversation,
Yeah.
but show up for the conversation.
Exactly, exactly.
That'd make it a lot easier and we'll stop guessing.
Right.
Let's not do that.
So I'd like, leave that out, because I'd like to maybe even take a picture of it or something, so.
Sure,
we've got
this
the
is the
Approved site plan.
this is the township copy, so.
Right.
It will be here until Ida puts it away.
Thank you.
What do you do tonight? I don't want to lose it.
Okay, tabling, number 3, Austin Hall, 4516 Van Dyke, Sherlock Storage, due to his lack of presence and explanation. Old business, solar energy subcommittee. Do we have anything new to report there? I'm guessing due to Roe and their
I did have a conversation on 2020 June with Ben Keller. He will be picking up just special projects in support of Almont Township, which would be, and I think Bonnie, you responded to his email this morning. Special projects, which at this point would be taking over the solar energy ordinance as Alex departed. And then Bonnie commented about a follow-on for batteries and wind with Ben. It's my understanding with Rowe, we don't have a contract, and they are proposing as needed contract without a retainer. And that's the discussion that has to go on between you and Gary and whoever's the head of Rowe, Amy, I think her name is.
I will call Gary tomorrow to see
Okay.
what has transpired between him and their representative, and take it from there. I'd like to have this put to bed within 2 weeks.
I don't need to put her to bed.
I don't know what he has to do on his end as far as approvals from the township. But if you have a meeting next Monday, I don't know that that's enough time. You have a meeting every 2 weeks, right? Oh, there's only one a month? Oh, it's a village, it's every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
We won't be ready for next month or next week anyway. So where we are with it is him getting his head wrapped around the changes that we had proposed to Alex and getting those back into a form that we can review to make sure that we're ready to go and present it to you guys. So, right? That's where we are right now. So we're just waiting for Roe to come back for us to have our final look-see to make sure that all of the changes that we requested have been put in there so that we can move forward with presenting it to you guys so you can shoot it full of holes.
The objective is, and what Bonnie's talking about, Ben has proposed that the subcommittee meet prior to the planning commission August meeting. Bring it to you guys far enough in advance for the August meeting to set a public hearing for September. If the planners are good with the ordinance in the August meeting, then the objective would be planners to set a public hearing, probably, hopefully in September. And then for Bonnie's response to Ben was to follow on, retain the subcommittee and move into batteries, and then wind if we need to.
Right, we're just gonna look at the ordinances as they are, right, and see where we need to beef, if we need to beef.
Yeah, I think the last message I got from Alex just blew me away, because he said it doesn't even meet ordinance format. We've been working on this for over a year, and all of a sudden it doesn't meet ordinance format. Pissed me off a little bit at this point that he said I can't work with this document. That was the last time I heard from Alex.
And where was he? I mean, it's moot point, but where was he those prior 8 months?
Good question. Deeply involved, we thought.
Well, that's neither here nor there at this point for what we're talking about. So,
So typically an ordinance change actually gets put into a legal document by the attorney to be adopted by the township board. And I think that's part of what he was saying is that, because he said something about, we'll give it to your attorney. Well, it does go to the attorney. The board adopts a resolution to, I assume it's done the same way here, adopts the resolution with just the language that we're changing to remove that language, insert this language, and that's the document that gets sent up to the board. But what we're looking for is just the document that we want the commissioners to look at to understand what the changes are, what we put in there to get everybody's buy-in, and then we can get it to the attorney to get it to the board.
that makes perfect sense. I mean, none of us nor Alex were attorneys. Why would you even?
Well, we saw what happened when the attorneys don't write the actual ordinance. about 2 years ago.
And then he said, well, just send it to your attorney. Well, it's not quite ready to go to the attorney yet. So, yeah, so that we've had a couple of fun times. So hopefully we'll be back on track soon.
Yeah, I think, as far as the solar ordinance moving forward, I think we're going
Close.
to get there, although we're not, with Alex's departure, it really left a big gap, not only for the subcommittee, but also the planning commission. Because we still have ordinance 39, which has a hell of a lot of holes, and it just seems to be getting worse. Hopefully in August, we would have a representative from as a professional planner. It won't be Ben, but at least it will be somebody that can answer these questions once the time is ready.
It would be nice to have someone that's briefed, so we don't deal with what we dealt with last time, which I don't blame. What was her name, Angela?
Yeah, Angela Bell,
Yeah, I don't blame her because she doesn't know Elma.
Angel.
Angel. But some of the, boxes that weren't completed were really NA.
Yeah.
And that kind of turned, so it'd be nice to at least have someone brief that we don't even have fire hydrants, so.
To someone who's just not coming in cold and having to start.
Which
all
is
over
my
again.
worry that that's gonna happen with these. And sometimes things get pushed, which is fine, but when they get pushed due to our lack of planning, for lack of a better term, I don't think is good either. So hopefully there can be some kind of, they have someone that's maybe a little more versed in rural
And
planning
maybe
versus,
it's a
the city.
pre-review too. Before it goes to the applicant, before it comes to the full board, maybe somebody needs to take a look at that review and pick out the hydrant issues and get those corrected before it goes.
Well, the problem though, I think you get into the timeline though, because by the time that Rowe and Davis get the reviews to us, then to do that and get it ready for the.
They've got this now. They've got STE right now.
Yeah, but if they have till whatever date it
They
is,
they
2
have
weeks.
until a week, 2 weeks before, a week
Right.
or 2 weeks before.
So then if it takes someone another week to go through it, then them to look at it. I'm very opposed to delaying applicants because of us when it shouldn't be delayed. I don't want to say a punishment, but they shouldn't get delayed another month because a planner's not up to speed.
Oh, no, I agree, 100%.
So I like that idea, but I don't know if there's even enough physical time because they always,
But
maybe
when we
the new
had that
planner.
conversation with Roe, maybe we can suggest the
It
fact
might-
that we need a pre-review for a couple of months, just so that we've got some decent review.
It might be well to have that conversation with them. These are pole barns. They're not, right.
They're not steel skyscraper.
This isn't Flint Township, this isn't Flint City.
Right.
Type,
Storage, nothing else.
yeah, so take them in the spirit that they're deemed to be, so. Okay. Thank you, Dennis and Bonnie, for the update there, and we will.
Is there any interest in moving away from the road? I mean, I guess I'd like to give them their day in court and say, we gotta have this relationship improved quite a bit ASAP or yesterday. I don't know where we would go, to be honest with you. I know Caitlin.
I'm other than Caitlin, I don't know I don't know the name of the company she went to.
Wade Trim, that's it.
Yeah. Other than her specifically, I personally do not have any other experience with any other planning type of
I don't either.
consultation company. You or Bonnie may have.
Washington Township uses Spalding. I know that Giffords Webster, our engineer, also has a planning arm. So, I mean, you could solicit bids, you could go out for bid. I mean, it wouldn't hurt.
It is, yeah, I don't want to continue down the road with Rowe if they are shorthanded. They owe that town to this township. We've been doing that with Alex for over a year. We've known they've been shorthanded.
So who
We
was,
did what we could to try to help him out, and he refused the help. I challenged him several times to go to his management and appeal for additional support, and he didn't want us to do that. And all of a sudden, he's gone. So, all right.
but if they're just gonna be not under contract and just as needed, then I'm concerned about that kind of support as well, because then you're gonna have a revolving door, so to speak, depending upon who's gonna be available.
Different person.
Right, and that concerns me greatly.
Therein lies that familiarity with type of districts, commercial districts and industrial districts we have, with the type of facilities and infrastructure we have, that becomes a potential problem. So I agree. I will broach that with Supervisor Grossbeck on.
What Nick identified as this as-needed contract we would sign with them. It does not require a retainer, that some other planning outfits do require a retainer. And then an as-needed contract would be site plans, rezoning, special land uses, the things that the planning commission does. And once you have that in place, I think it would be all right. But the learning curve is what you're referring to, Kevin. I totally agree with that.
Up until this point, we have not had to pay a retainer, even in the
Right.
past. Is
Right.
that correct? The
Correct.
history?
Yeah.
You may not know, Ida.
Community management, we could call it anytime, get any information and give a charge, because we had a contract with them. And it was open-ended phone calls, we had a lot of communication going on. With Roe, they didn't want to do a contract with us, they didn't want to be, I don't know, maybe stuck with
Pigeonholed,
somebody.
something.
I don't know what the deal was, but I do know that they didn't want a contract.
Roe proposed to stay at will. Okay.
Maybe it's worth a conversation with Corey. Corey
I'm
always,
sorry, Nick.
maybe it's worth a conversation with Corey if he has any recommendations to go
Yeah, that's a
elsewhere.
possibility.
He seems very knowledgeable and, works with us well and, so maybe,
Like, extremely well.
right, so maybe
Yeah.
right, so maybe he has someone he would refer.
But I think we would be better off with an as-needed contract, which they proposed, I guess, without a retainer. I don't know if community planning had a retainer or not, but
Well, it was more of a contract that we could call them. They weren't gonna charge us for every phone call or email like Roe does.
Oh, okay, so you get charged every time you call them for a consult?
Oh,
Okay, yeah,
Ding.
yeah.
And it's so much for the first 15 minutes and so much.
Like a lawyer.
Although Alex did say he would look at your emails, but if he had to respond, he would charge us for that. I guess it's their policy. I don't know how they run it.
That's a typical professional type, whether it be IT services, lawyer. It's understandable.
Well, we went to a conference with KW, because KW was as we needed. Now we have a nice contract, so we call them, and they help us all the time without, us watching the clock and, watching the meter go up all the time, so it's nice.
How is Davis Land Surveying's contracts? Do we pay every time we call the engineer?
I don't think so. I really don't think so.
Is something to look at? I mean, just maybe we could model it
That's
after.
needed,
Okay,
But he is a township engineer, so I think there's a fee, but we don't see that till we get an invoice, but I don't think, I've talked to Corey many times and I never see it on a bill.
same here. I've talked to him a couple times.
Drop by his office.
Email, yeah, never see it on a bill.
Well, I will ask that question as well. How is his contract structured? To see.
I think if Roe has a proposal for a contract form of some sort, they need to get it to us. If there's something as a at will or whatever you call it, a as needed contract, let's see it. Man, this has been way too long.
Well, I know that when, because Alex was a senior planner, fees doubled. What I was being charged to the township, I see the invoices, and they were doubled.
A lot of letters after his name.
Yeah.
Okay, so we have no planner report. Per my phone call yesterday with Corey, the engineer from Davis Land Surveying and Engineering, everything that's ongoing other than the dust issue up at the storage site, everything is status quo, moving along, no open issues that he needs to share with us at the moment. That's all I had there. Unless you've heard something, Ida, outside that.
No, he was supposed to go up to the communication tower today, I thought, but I haven't talked to him, so I don't know what.
Excellent. Okay. Good. They seem to be one of our best past projects. I mean, they were all
Tower.
yeah, they were up.
Yeah.
Good. Zoning Board of Appeals, Bonnie.
No meeting.
No meeting? Okay.
Well, planning commission potentially has stolen one of our members, so we'll be probably looking for a new member now. Poaching, there you go.
Well, they both are alternate.
Is that what he was? It was an,
Alternate.
yeah.
Zoning Administrator Ida Lloyd, the floor is yours.
Around 3 o'clock this afternoon, I got a pre-application request from Iden, I-D-E-N, I'll spell the name, Kalabbat. He is looking at developing 4260 Van Dyke. They want to put a gas station in there. And they would like to come before the planning commission with a pre-application form, which they filled out, and I sent it to everybody.
Yes, I saw
You
it.
should have that. And I will make sure that they're here, because, you know, was always, you know, public. We'll see what they have to say, but they want to put a gas station here.
It's interesting. I don't know anything about gas stations as far as traffic flow and commercial viability and stuff, but it seems interesting.
It will not be like mobile, because they're going to use part of the building for the store.
Right.
And
That's
there's no,
what I gathered, that it was gonna be the,
but, they are going to take, quite a few parking spaces, so they're gonna have to give us a calculation on that.
so did he mention, and it's not really that big of a deal at this point, but did he mention, will the other businesses to the west still become state
From
commercial?
what I understand, the military, Andy's military will still be there, the chiropractor will still be there. He says he needs the tenants, so he's gonna keep the tenants, but he's gonna use that area that used to be for the doctors for the store.
So what happened with and again, this is off topic and it's not really none of our business, but just a curiosity, what happened with the plumber that was in there, that bought it? So did he buy it from that guy?
No, Andy bought it. And Andy Military owns it.
Oh, he bought it.
He
Okay,
bought it from Andy, apparently, because Andy they didn't have it for sale, they just offered him a whole load of money, I guess, or something. So,
Well, look, man, we are dealing with a lot of what ifs or questions. What do we expect from this guy if he comes in August? I mean, it looks like he's submitted a pre-application request, which is what? What does that mean?
It's more of an introduction, you know, hello, I'm so-and-so, I bought this property and I want to do this on it. And then you give him some feedback, general feedback, you're not making any approvals.
Yeah, there's no, it's again, it's no different than this here. Hi, welcome to the community. He
Well, what
bought,
you did for STE tonight,
yeah,
you got a general concept of what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
Wouldn't the general feedback be the zoning?
it was gonna be special land use, so he has to abide by all those, by that criteria. Traffic patterns and all those things.
This might be, there is a section in your ordinance for traffic studies, traffic impact studies.
That's all gonna come into play.
Some of these applicants, they really think it's easy. They just come say, hi, this is what I want to do. They give you a site plan, you sign off, and they're digging everything. And it's a lot more complicated.
This could really, yeah, it's gonna take a tremendous amount of consideration on our part, beyond just the hi, how are you, after that fact.
And I try to tell them that this is just a how-do. No decisions are made. Doesn't mean you're on the next month's agenda. Because you go in and when, right now, we're just dealing with the engineer, basically. So when someone tells us it's ready for the planning commission, it comes before. And if this is a special land use, then it might require a public hearing and notices. I will look that up for SE2. I agree with you, Kevin. I think it fits right in with your special land use. But if they're going to use gravel, they may give it variance because you've got an ordinance that says you need to be partner.
Right, that might be,
So would their existing variants cover that?
it may. And then it reverts back to Article 4 instead of Article 5, so they wouldn't need a public hearing, but
All that's gotta be looked at.
Yeah.
again, that's all,
That's all the planner and the engineer does that.
yeah.
All that's gotta be looked at.
I just wanted to broach that subject with them. It may require a public hearing depending on what they come back with.
Yeah, no, and I told them that. I said, I can say one thing, the planner can say another thing. And I always go with the planner, whether he's right or wrong.
Liability wise, that's their job.
Yeah.
Okay. Any other,
Well, I guess my
or
question
Dennis,
still remains.
Dennis still has
On the
questions?
on the gas station, they filled out an application, Almont Township pre-application form 10-5. Where is it, application form 10-5?
I don't know how they got that off the.
I don't know that it exists.
But they got this off our website because many years ago, the planning commission put this together. Because they were tired of people just coming in and thinking this was it. They want to meet them, greet them, find out what they're doing to help expedite the process for them as far as you understanding what they're going to do. Because if you don't meet them, then it goes right to the engineer and planner, and you don't see them until the night of the meeting. And then you're all going, what is this? We don't know these people, what are they doing? So this is, the planning commission way back then thought, well, maybe if we had like an introduction to what they want to do, we have a better idea of who these people are when they come before us for approval.
So the way this is gonna lay out, they'll come before the planning commission potentially in August. And they'll submit their application fees following the August meeting. So we may or may not see them in September. I mean, it's just like Southern Truck here. They wanted to get started tomorrow.
Doug wanted to start last week, but that's okay.
Well, yeah. So, okay.
Well, Doug knew, Doug was well aware of that. There was
Yeah, he's
no-
been here before. He's doing
I,
pretty good.
yeah, I took that as a bit of sarcasm, but But, you know, Nick, myself included, and I'm sure Tracy, you know, when you're in business, you want to get things moving along, and I get that, but there are procedural things that have to happen.
I agree, but I'd say we just have to be careful what we tell them.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Without an engineer review or a planner's review or an application.
That's why I said, you know, there's nothing we can do until those items are satisfied.
Well, I mean.
I think that was why STE wanted to come though, if there was things that are glaring that we always see. Because he asked me 2 weeks ago or a week ago, and I said, outside lighting, ever since your outside lighting thing has been a deal. If you're not putting outside lighting out, note it. You know, and that was when he went and added it on, and that's the same thing I think we would have said here, make sure your lighting's on your plan. Didn't say you can do lighting, can't do lighting, just said, hey, just make sure it's on there.
Exactly.
And I think, right, because that was a big thing.
He seemed to indicate that it was, the existing
It was
fence was
existing.
8 foot.
I think they got a variance on that, because if I.
All is gonna have to be looked at.
Our fences can't be more than 6 feet, so.
Yeah.
Because of the people who live behind them, they were granted an 8 foot because they wanted it taller so they wouldn't have to see what was behind it. But if you don't put curtains on your windows.
Who's this?
When STE came in for their project the first time, there were some variances that were granted. Because one, they wanted the gravel and the pave, and then I think they had to get variance on the fence. But I'll look that up.
I agree, Dennis. When they do come in front of us, we have to be careful but at the same time, you know, this gas station thing is nowhere near a slam dunk.
It's
Not
right.
even- not even
I don't know
close.
what their expectations are, that's what
Right.
concerns me.
Yeah.
I don't see any reason why we wouldn't move forward, but
That's where I think,
without an application fee and a move and some site plan, it's really hard to tell.
that's where I think that pre-meeting is a positive, because they don't have to go spend thousands and thousands of dollars if they don't understand what's all entailed in a special land use. You know, because you apply, you pay all your money, and then it's not granted. No guarantee either way it's going to, but maybe it's something they don't even want to jump through. And at least this way, they're not out $10,000. You know, they come to a meeting and,
I will look that up. I think it is under commercial, and like I said, I always refer to the planner. You know, we have definitions are a tricky point here, because storage, cold storage, warehousing, what is what? So we need to know what we're dealing with.
I don't disagree with you, Nick, but as soon as we slip a week or two, then they're on us because we didn't get this done or that done.
Right.
So I don't know what their expectations are to come in here, because they're gonna get no yes or no answers. I mean,
And they've lost a month.
and they lost a month, yeah, I mean, so that's as long as they're fully understanding that.
but there's nothing stopping them from
They can come to any company here.
Sure.
putting in, or they could show up and ask in a non-agenda.
Yeah.
Where I think STE did both. They did their application, site plan, everything, but still wanted to come and just,
Yeah.
you know,
I like the
Feel it
idea,
out.
but then like they wanted this launched tomorrow.
well, everybody wants to when you're doing a
Oh,
project.
sure. Yeah, okay.
I kind of took it the same way that Kevin took it though, as I thought it was kind of tongue in cheek kind of a
He
thing, so.
was. Yeah.
I didn't really think he was chiding us for not.
He was like,
Like he said, you know, it's later than he thought, kind of caught up with them, now we gotta get this thing moving.
I agree with Dennis, and that was the purpose of my email, was we gotta be very careful because we've got some legal ramifications if we give the wrong advice and then the planner and engineer come back and say, no, that's not what your ordinance says. So it's a fine razor sharp line you walk when
I
you're
think-
doing this.
I think the part that can protect you a little bit too, though, is there's no vote.
But you're still giving advice from your chair. You're legally liable for the words that come out of your mouth when you're representing the township.
Because we do have the option in the ordinance for a pre-meeting with the engineer, the planner, zoning administrator, planning commission member, township supervisor, but it is after the fee is paid, obviously, because you've involved the planner and the engineer. That is an option in the ordinance. Maybe there's a better way to do this pre-meetings without, because we won't have professional, well, maybe we will, I don't know. I'd like to accommodate the applicant without making a commitment by the township. But that's fine. If they're not in a big hurry to put the gas station in, they're recognizing they're getting into September and October. Okay?
Gas stations require so much infrastructure. This is not,
Yeah, they're gonna have to go through the state, they're gonna have to go
They're-
through the county.
yeah, there's state, county, there's the health department issues with the food and the septic and the water and all of that, so.
Dot Road, ingress, egress.
There's only one way to move forward on that. They have to pay the fees and start the process to get any answers at all. But to come before us to say, this is what we want to bring to your community, there's nothing but good things can happen there.
Take an application and look at it.
Yeah, I think the 3 suites east of the gun guys are empty, from what I can tell. So that must be part of what they're,
East, yeah,
east side, yeah.
yeah, that's where he wants to put his store.
Yeah.
Where's the gas station going? I'm still trying to figure it
Parking
out.
lot.
Well,
The parking lot.
the stalls and pumps would go right in the center of the parking lot.
Oh,
There's-
okay.
it
First
looks-
grouping of parking spaces, that's where they want to put the pumps, and then there's parking to the west.
So the 3 businesses to the west will be driving through the gas station part.
Every time I drive by, I look at that and I said, I don't know how they're gonna fit that.
Right.
The layout
Yeah.
looks well thought out. I don't know that it passes muster, but the layout looked well thought out, so.
Well, once they get through all the other agencies.
That,
We may not.
it may never even get to us at that point. General comments, late additions.
Interpower, site plan. I told you I was gonna ask about it every single meeting until they bring it. Ida,
I'm sorry, I didn't,
the Interpower site plan, they were
Oh.
supposed to
Oh,
bring.
I'm sorry, I never got a chance to get back with them. I've been in training with our new permit clerk, so I mean, 6:30 to 4:30 in training, it's just kind of eating at my time.
there's, seeing their parking lot every day, there's been no change, there's been.
No, I drive by and I still count the 2.
Yeah, there's no start, there's no, I tried to call Eric several times between the last meeting and last week. I didn't get a chance to look at it this week, but it probably became more of a pie in the sky dream than an actuality, so. That's not official, but knowing.
No, but it's still an approval without a site plan that goes in the file, and that's the only, I'm just trying to dot the i's and,
You get approval and they have, you have to get them approved, so.
I thought we did already, we're just waiting for the revised plan.
They never even showed up.
No, because he was out of town.
So we haven't given
Downtown
approval.
lot.
I thought we
We
did.
said that we don't see an issue with it, but submit your, they never,
He still has to go through all of the permitting processes and so forth, and none of that's.
You're
talking Yeah, the additional charging station or whatever he wants to
Yeah, a
call
lot
it.
of their employees parking on the grass.
yeah.
I guess they don't mind.
I do, you brought up the point that they were gonna put it out front. I don't remember that, but you brought it up, and now I do see what you were saying, and that would probably work, but with site plan updates and engineering, so on and so forth.
Side, the south side, that front of the building.
Does he have two there now, Kevin? Doesn't he have two?
He has two pedestals now that are on the building, if you want to call it that. And both pedestals are two-sided. So he has basically 4 positions that are available. But I believe I'm sure anybody who is a customer or vendor or employee can use them, but I don't think they're available for public use. How they're metered, I don't know anything about that, or how they're activated. So, they're used very infrequently, if ever.
Usually it's a card. You run your credit card or something.
Yeah.
Charges it.
Yeah.
I don't know what that
Personally. Duly noted that Bonnie requested a site plan for Interpower. Additional comments or thoughts?
Do you want a full site plan or just something that shows where it's gonna go?
So they gave us a picture, an overhead picture, but there was no marking on the picture. We just wanted something for the file that actually reflected where they were proposing to put these charging stations. So we had something for the file that said they've modified their site plan. This is now what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, well, when I talked to Eric, they weren't even sure where they were.
Yeah, it was just a Crayola drawing. It wasn't anything engineered. It was just something that we had to.
Google shot with something drawn.
That has to be done for the electrical permit or no?
You don't need a site plan for
It would,
They have an approved site plan with us, and now they're modifying their site plan.
No, that site plan is like 30, maybe 30 years old. Yeah, HGF.
It is on
way, way
Crayola.
back. Well, I mean,
Palmkowski owned it.
Maybe it was hand drawn.
It behooves them to update it with the electrical and so forth, because it's all gonna be underground. I agree with you, but it could be just an addendum and overlay that says this is where it is.
I just wanted to be
That's all we're
sure.
looking for.
When she says site plan, do you want the whole property or do you just want this general
Just a
area?
general area, just a vellum overlay of, okay, this is gonna sit on top of this, and this is where this is, plus or minus 6 feet where the electrical is
I'll
gonna
send
be.
Eric's email, so I won't be in the office tomorrow. I'm back down to 2 days a week now,
What about, secretary volunteer?
Yeah, well, that's a valid point.
That's a hell of a volunteer.
You're supposed to appoint somebody in the next meeting. This is the next meeting.
Without Andrea or
Yeah.
with the potential member, I don't think it is appropriate.
I'll give everybody a chance to think about it for the August meeting, I guess.
So we're postponing that.
Yes.
I would.
Yeah, that should be tabled until August, the August meeting.
So for August, I have secretary, possibly STE, depending on reviews coming back. And then Pre-application, do you want them on August?
If they have any information or anything to share, they're more than welcome to make a presentation. There will be no action taken.
Oh, they're very well aware of it, 'cause when I talked to Adele, I made sure that she understood this is just an introduction. There are no decisions made. They may even not even ask you a question.
Are they current gas station owners or operators?
Well, I talked to the engineer, not the owners. So I talked to the engineer and the project coordinator, which is Adele. I think it was Adele. Anyways, they said they do this for a living, so they,
They're familiar with all of the
yeah.
Eagle and
Yeah.
MDOT specifications and
Yeah.
local and county
That's what we went
health
through,
department.
So, yeah, it's been some time.
It's not just somebody said, I got several million to spend, I'm gonna drop it on a gas station. They actually know what they've actually done it before.
They didn't seem to be upset about it either. He just said, oh, well, competition.
Well,
It's always good for business, he said.
Well, it's on the one on the west side for southbound traffic.
Yeah, so-
I don't know if I
You don't
want to
have
get
to
out of
drive all the
there
way
on
to town.
Van Dyke.
Yeah. If it works, it looks like it's gonna be tight. We'll see.
well, if you think about the size and if you look at the mobile station down at 32 Mile Road and M53, it's approximately about the same size. You know, if you look at the distance from the building to the property line and where the islands are,
Sure, if you look at Speedway and Speedy Q, those are really tight.
those are much smaller. Now they only have, he's putting, would he have 4 islands on that
Say, how many
map?
pumps is he putting in?
It looks like he's putting in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But if they're dual pumps, you can get gas on either side. 16.
But island-wise, he's only got 8 islands.
Just the one. Yeah, he's got 8 islands.
Yeah, so
There goes the landscaping. We'll have to replace some of the landscaping. They're taking it.
sure.
They'll have to replace some of the parking spaces.
Study on as far as the parking lot surface and so forth. So.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Yeah, good. I mean, activity's activity. See what happens. It's all good. If they want.
So you want them on the agenda?
If they're interested in coming in, I don't see
We
it.
made the pre-application. She said, can I get on next week? And I says, we meet tonight. And then we won't meet again until August. August? I said, yes, ma'am, 13. And she goes, well, we'll take it.
They might be more used to working with cities that meet every week.
Yeah.
Bigger municipalities.
I think you gentlemen, I think the members are correct when you were talking about planners. We're not the city, we're still rather rural out here. And we look at things differently.
Okay.
When you're looking at a planner, you want somebody who appreciates that and understands.
Nuances in both. There's nuances in city and there's nuances in rural, and to differentiate the two is pretty significant.
It is.
Right.
Nice for you to understand. Okay, secretary. we've got- and we have two other people.
If the Sherlock guy,
Oh, yeah.
If
And
he's-
I'll get a hold of Austin, he'll be disappointed, but I told him, I says, you're not gonna be here, he says, I can't make it. I says, I don't like putting you on the agenda, but you asked, so I'll put you on the agenda, but I don't think you're gonna get what you want. I don't know.
We need a much deeper clarification based on the current business structure and current traffic and so forth before we can even consider looking at it.
Will you be under new business again, or are you gonna put them under old business?
Still be under new business. We made no
Okay.
um,
And STE
determination
same?
of anything tonight.
And STE the same, it'll be new business? Because you really.
Yeah, it'll be new business because it's basically the kickoff or
Yeah.
start of the process, the formal process.
And then.
And what about putting them under introduction rather than new business when they're coming in like this and they're just introducing their project so that they're not an item on the agenda?
That makes the call, not me.
That's a valid point. That was a valid point.
I had initially put them under introduction, and then he said just put them under business. So that's what I just go with what the chair says.
I'm just making a suggestion so that they have no
Don't debate it to me.
anticipation of any kind of action.
No, just give it together.
All right.
Okay, and then we have, we're bringing the bylaws back. Old
We are,
business.
yep.
Correct.
And then, what about, so,
Open pray.
I guess that will have to wait until they get a chance to.
so don't put
Bonnie
it
and
on.
I, or at least my position, I don't know what Bonnie's position is, this is 90% complete, if not. And I don't know.
Well, we can put it on,
Just-
if you're not ready, we can just, put it on it.
Just put it on as tentative for now. In another 2 weeks,
Hope we get
We'll
things
have-
squared away.
we may have additional information, or we may have to table.
Yeah, gosh, this is taking.
Gee, the sun could burn up by then.
I will. I don't want. We've been without Roe for 2 meetings now.
More than that, he wasn't here in April, I went back and talked over that. So-
No, I'm talking consecutive.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Corey was here last month, so I don't want to have our professionals miss more than 1 meeting. I don't want it to get beyond 2. So I will make sure that we have someone here for both at the next meeting as well.
I think if you call Corey ahead of time, calendar.
The last several 4 meetings or 5 meetings, we've talked beforehand.
Yeah.
Discussed, what he may need to bring or,
With the recorder.
yeah. And I think, obviously we will continue that. But I don't see any reason that missing 2 in a row is acceptable.
Well, I send everything to Ro all the time. Angel Bell is getting everything that I sent to you guys.
I could meet with Gary and give you a call tomorrow, Kevin, if you want to do that, and discuss. But I think we need to talk to Rob tomorrow. And see what you and Gary both,
I've got a handful of business meetings and things to do tomorrow. So just give me an hour's notice.
yeah. You want me to just talk to Rob with Gary?
That's fine.
Okay, we'll do that.
Okay.
And then, give you an hour notice that we're gonna call you.
Yeah,
Okay.
That way I can make sure that because I may be up in a plant that's very noisy.
Yeah.
Tomorrow I have a meeting in one plant up at Vlasic.
You gotta run your business, buddy.
I've got a meeting several tomorrow in Vlasic, so, some areas of the plant are okay to talk, some areas aren't.
I guess my proposal to Roe would be to submit an as-needed contract, the format that they use with other communities to us, and get it to us tomorrow would be nice. Fax or text or email, I don't care. That would be the approach I would take. And then we can look at that. Hopefully we have a representative, whoever it is, that's getting indoctrinated to Almont Township.
So you had Rose stand down, do you want them to start reviewing?
No, I told them that they need to start reviewing.
Okay.
Yeah, but it needs to be, I told her that originally, and then she's wanted to get in, and I said, go ahead. But that was a week ago.
Oh,
I-
you told her a week ago, okay.
Yeah, but I will reiterate that tomorrow, that they are going to be on the agenda, and they need to have their review completed in the appropriate timeframe and available for us prior to the August meeting.
2 weeks.
And who are you talking to?
That Angel or Angela, but
Now they're talking to Amy. She's the boss.
I didn't bring my tablet in, and I don't have that email on my phone, so I don't remember her name.
We'll touch base with you tomorrow.
What, you want Angels is on the emails that I sent you. abel@roe.psc.
I got Amy's.
No, I'm talking about the name of the person.
Yeah, that's
I don't,
right.
I don't have my emails for for the township account on my phone. They're on my tablet, and I left it in the car. So I can't, I don't recall her name, but I believe it was the Angela or Angel Bell.
Well, I got an email saying that from Angel stating that she would be representing Almont Township.
Excellent.
And that was, what, like 3 weeks ago, or just shortly after Alex left.
Excellent. Tracy, you been a chatterbox over there all night?
So, I'm good.
Are you good? I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Sport. Everybody sports.
Motion to adjourn was made by Nick and supported by Dennis at 8:22 PM on the, I believe it's the 9th, correct? July. Thank you all. You're out.
Still on.
Okay. You're all